Fat Controller preferred steam engines on his railway, but he found diesels useful because they could pull either coaches or trucks.
You're versatile. Real mixed traffic engines.
BoCo and Derek were proud of this, but James was not impressed. He liked BoCo and Derek, but he treated all of the diesels with deep suspicion.
Diesels don't use cold water. How can you trust someone who isn't normal in his habits?
Visiting diesels sometimes boasted about how special they were. Usually, BoCo and Derek had to spend the next day smoothing ruffled feelings. One day, a particularly haughty diesel had delivered a goods train from the other railway. This diesel had been to the railway before on trial. He was very rude to the other engines, and was sent away after sucking up an inspector's bowler hat, earning the nickname Bowler. When Bowler saw he had to share a shed with steam engines, he stopped outside in disgust and refused to go any further.
Why on earth does your controller still keep such out-of-date objects? Dirty, smoky, slow things. Ugh! On my railway, steam engines are kept strictly in their place and aren't allowed on the main line without special permission.
Stay outside then if you're so proud about it. I'm going to join my friends. I hope it's cold tonight and he can't start in the morning. At least the Fat Controller wants us. Who'd need him? All stuck up.
The engines were glad when morning came. They went to fetch their trains as early as they could, leaving Bowler all alone.
That's better. How can an engine rest with all that hissing and clanking?
The cleaning equipment and fuel supplies were in the same part of the shed that BoCo and Derek shared. Bowler was so full of self-importance that he forgot he needed cleaning and refueling before he went home. It was getting late when he remembered.
If I go in now while the sheds are empty, no one will know I've been.
He scuttled forward quickly, too quickly. The rails where BoCo and Derek stood were oily, and when he tried to stop, he couldn't.
Brake blocks and buffers, I'm slipping!
Bowler was not badly damaged, but a dreadful draft came through the hole in the wall. When the other engines came home that evening, they heard the story from Douglas, who had cleaned up the mess.
Ho ho ho! That stuck-up bowler came unstuck, did he? I say, BoCo, what is it that the Fat Controller calls you?
Versatile. But that isn't what he called Bowler. I didn't hear all he said, but I didn't think it sounded very polite.